have a busy day.
Morning, Hepburn. What are you doing up so early?
I couldn't sleep.
That means you're either happy or unhappy.
In an era of conservative morals and strict industry codes, did you know some Golden Age stars were forced to live closeted lives? Here are the top 15 gay closet cases in Hollywood history.
It's all right. I don't mind being called names or pushed around or even kicked in the shin. But now I have a lead and my last pair of nylons.
Number 15. Marlene Dietrich. Marlene Dietrich was an iconic German-American actress and singer. Like the other names on this list, Dietrich was often rumored to be gay or bisexual. Sure, nothing was explicitly confirmed, but the rumors persisted for a couple of reasons. To begin with, Dietrich was known for her androgynous style, frequently wearing men's clothing both on and off screen. If you love the captivating look of a woman in a suit, then you should know that Marlene Dietrich was a champion for that cause. Even in the art-focused Weimar culture of the early 20th century Germany, Dietrich dared to live boldly and without restraint. She frequently wore pants and tuxedos on screen at a time when it was considered unconventional. This forever altered women's perspectives on pants. Perhaps this is a reason many began to speculate about her sexual orientation. Her androgynous fashion choices challenged traditional gender norms and made her an icon in the LGBTQ+ community. It also didn't help that Dietrich was also open about her romantic relationships with both men and women. The sultry actress was open to kissing women on screen as early as the 1930s. Her roles in films like Morocco, where she dressed in a tuxedo and kissed a woman, further fueled speculation about her sexuality. Also fueling the speculation was the fact that Dietrich, on more than one occasion, made several comments that suggested she had a fluid approach to sexuality. She once said, quote, "In Europe, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We make love with anyone we find attractive." Such statements hinted at a non-heteronormative perspective on relationships and intimacy. She was consequently rumored to have romantic relationships with stars like Kate Francis, Edith Piaf, Mercedes de Acosta, and even Greta Garbo.
Guess we couldn't pull this job without Al.
Number 14. Raymond Burr. Best known for his iconic roles in Perry Mason and Ironside, Raymond Burr led a life marked by significant professional success. But of course, making this list meant also that he had to struggle as a closeted gay actor. Despite the hidden struggle, Burr truly enjoyed a prolific career spanning several decades. His portrayal of a brilliant defense attorney, Perry Mason, and later Robert T. Ironside, the wheelchair-bound detective, solidified his status as a TV legend. Unfortunately, Burr's career peaked during a time when homosexuality was heavily stigmatized. The Hollywood industry, guided by the conservative social mores of the time and the strictures of the Hays Code, made it virtually impossible for actors to be openly gay without facing severe professional consequences. That said, Raymond Burr's personal life was carefully orchestrated to maintain his public image. However, it was pretty much common knowledge that Burr was in a long-term relationship with Robert Benavides, an actor and later a producer, who became his business partner. The two men met in the 1950s and remained together until Burr's death in 1993. To protect his career and maintain his privacy, Burr avoided the spotlight as much as he could. He was known for being intensely private, often avoiding interviews and personal questions. With minimized scrutiny, he surely kept his personal life out of the public eye. Lastly, Burr and Benavides also framed their relationship as a professional partnership. Upon his death, Burr willed his entire estate to Benavides. At the end of the day, his relationship with Benavides, though private, was a testament to their enduring love and commitment, which lasted nearly 4 decades.
What castle, Daddy?
The castle on the moors, Edgar. Go there, please.
There's no castle on the moors, darling.
Number 13. Laurence Olivier. No doubt one of the greatest actors of the 20th century, his roles in Shakespearean plays and classic films such as Wuthering Heights in 1939, Rebecca in 1940, and Hamlet in 1948 solidified his status as an acting legend. Naturally, he was celebrated for his intense performances, commanding presence, and versatility both as an actor and director. Sadly, Olivier's career spanned a period marked by strict societal norms regarding sexuality. But Laurence Olivier also had a complex personal life that included rumors and speculation about his sexuality. There was one ironic thing, though. While he was primarily known for his numerous heterosexual relationships and marriages, there were persistent claims that Olivier had relationships with men. Olivier's personal life was publicly characterized by his marriages to actress Jill Esmond, Vivien Leigh, and Joan Plowright. However, there have been long-standing rumors about his relationships with men. These included claims of affairs with actors such as Danny Kaye and playwright Noel Coward. Olivier never publicly acknowledged these relationships, and the truth remains a matter of speculation. One thing was certain, though: Olivier's intense dedication to his craft and his numerous professional achievements helped divert attention from his personal life.
Characteristic strikes us. Now, what is the first thing you notice in a person?
Whether the person is male or female.
Number 12, Spencer Tracy. There were persistent rumors about Tracy's relationships with men, including a long-term involvement with actor John Derek. But this was only one of the many rumors that circulated within Hollywood's inner circles. Let us also consider the accounts by Scotty Bowers. Scotty Bowers was a notorious Hollywood pimp. He claimed in his memoir that he had had multiple sexual encounters with Tracy. Bowers described Tracy as someone who enjoyed intimate companionship with men, particularly after drinking heavily. At some point, Tracy stayed at the home of George Cukor. This would not have raised any eyebrows, but movie director George Cukor was an openly gay figure in Hollywood. So you can see how the frequent and extended visits raised suspicions, especially since Cukor was known to host gatherings with young gay men. Then there's the fact that Tracy never actually divorced. You see, Tracy was married with 2 children. He was a good father, but eventually became estranged from his wife. The next logical step would be to get a divorce, but he never did that and went on to claim that it was due to his Catholic beliefs. As you can imagine, some people speculated that his unwillingness to divorce and his estrangement could be linked to his hidden sexuality. While many of his contemporaries moved from one high-profile relationship to the next, Tracy was more reserved. Aside from his famous companionship with Katherine Hepburn, Tracy did not publicly engage in many high-profile romantic relationships with women. Unfortunately, this only fueled more speculation about his private life.
That guy.
George, I'm going to. Why not?
Well, I don't know. I thought I'd be for it at first, but you just...
Number 11, Katherine Hepburn. If the speculations are to be believed, then, Hepburn's 25-year relationship with frequent co-star Spencer Tracy was more of a friendship than an actual sexual attraction. And if this was the case, then it actually set the tone for her own rumors. There was a notable lack of traditional romantic relationships on Hepburn's part. Despite being linked to several men, including her famous companionship with Spencer Tracy, Hepburn was never publicly involved in a traditional romantic relationship that led to marriage. This fueled rumors that her relationship with Tracy was more of a studio-arranged pairing than a genuine romantic involvement. Screenwriter and gay rights activist Larry Kramer publicly claimed that both Hepburn and Tracy were gay, and that their pairing was orchestrated by the studio. Kramer's statement added credibility to the long-standing rumors within Hollywood circles. Then, of course, pimp Scotty Bowers claimed in his memoir that Hepburn asked him to find young women for her. Bowers claimed he arranged for Hepburn to meet over 150 women over 50 years, which averages about 3 women per year. He says Hepburn would see them once or twice and then lose interest. However, he did mention there was one exception. This young beauty named Barbara was introduced to Hepburn, and the two went on to maintain a 49-year relationship. According to Bowers, all of this was more than enough evidence of her preference for women. Hepburn's private life was closely guarded, and she did not openly discuss her personal relationships. This secrecy and the lack of clear evidence of heterosexual relationships led to further speculation about her being gay or bisexual. Hepburn had several close friendships with women throughout her life. Some of these relationships were intense and long-lasting, leading people to speculate that they were more than just friendships.
And when friends make peace, have a shake on me. Ooh, a joke a day keeps the gloom away.
Number 10, Cesar Romero. Golden Age actor Cesar Romero is best known for his role as the Joker in the 1960s TV series Batman. He was a prominent actor, and he had the public persona as a charming ladies' man. What is not so well known about Romero is that he was gay. While he remained in the closet to the public for the entirety of his career, he was reportedly out to friends and colleagues in the industry. But there were still long-standing rumors and speculation about his sexuality. Romero cultivated an image as a suave and debonair leading man, often seen in the company of glamorous women. This was a common strategy in Hollywood to align actors with traditional heterosexual roles and expectations. His roles in film and television were diverse, ranging from musicals and comedies to dramas and action films, and he managed to maintain a steady career spanning several decades. Romero was reportedly part of a social circle that included many known or suspected gay actors. His close relationships with these individuals contributed to the speculation. Then we have Scotty Bowers. Being the notorious figure who claimed to have arranged sexual encounters for many Hollywood stars, he also included Romero in his accounts. According to Bowers, Romero had relationships with men, but these claims are difficult to verify independently. Like many actors of his era, Romero was extremely discreet about his personal life. This discretion was necessary to protect his career and avoid the severe repercussions that could result from being outed. Number 9. Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury was the legendary lead singer and pianist of the rock band Queen. At some point, he was engaged to Mary Austin, whom he referred to as the love of his life. But it turns out there was reason to suspect that he was bisexual. Mercury's flamboyant and theatrical stage presence often defied traditional gender norms, leading to speculation about his sexuality. His extravagant costumes, energetic performances, and charismatic personality might have also made him an icon in the LGBTQ+ community. Some of Queen's songs, along with Mercury's solo work, featured themes and lyrics that hinted at his experiences and emotions related to his sexuality. While not explicitly stated, fans and critics often interpreted these as reflective of his life as a gay or a bisexual man. Mercury also had several well-known relationships with men. His long-term partner, Jim Hutton, was with him for the last 6 years of his life. Freddie Mercury may never have spoken publicly about his sexuality, but his friends and family reportedly knew that he was gay. Sadly, he died due to complications from AIDS in November 1991. Notably, this was a period when the virus was running rampant amongst the homosexual community. As such, his diagnosis of AIDS and his subsequent death surely brought further attention to his sexuality. At the end of the day, Mercury became a significant figure within the LGBTQ+ community, not only for his music, but also for his role in challenging societal norms about gender and sexuality. His impact as a cultural icon extended beyond his musical talent to his representation of non-heteronormative identities.
Dexter, would you mind doing something for me?
Anything, what?
Get the heck out of here.
Oh, my dear Red, I couldn't do that. That wouldn't be fair to you. You need me too much.
Number 8. Cary Grant. Renowned for his good looks and acting talent, Cary Grant was the Hollywood man in the 1930s. The British-American actor was also quite the ladies' man, a fact that helped solidify his position as a heartthrob. Grant was married 5 times, and if you had witnessed the times, you would simply think, oh, this is a man who can't quite satisfy his thirst for love. However, in the years following his death, new information came to light about Grant's personal life. First cause for speculation was his living arrangement. Grant lived with fellow actor Rudolph Scott for over a decade in the 1930s and 1940s, leading to widespread rumors about the nature of their relationship. Considering their close bond was often highlighted in the press, the rumors were that the pair were involved romantically. Grant never publicly addressed the rumors about his sexuality, and this stance helped him maintain a level of ambiguity. As for the multiple marriages, some biographers and researchers have suggested that they might have all been a response to societal pressures to conform.
You like girls?
Of course. But do we have time?
Number 7. Tab Hunter. Born Arthur Andrew Helm, Tab Hunter became a major star in the 1950s. From his popular roles in films like Battle Cry in 1955 and Damn Yankees in 1958, Hunter solidified his position as a prominent heartthrob of the 1950s screen. With his striking good looks and charm, he was a favorite among teenage audiences and a leading man in numerous romantic roles. It also helped that Warner Brothers Studio had groomed him as a matinee idol. They crafted his public image in a way that emphasized his rugged masculinity and heterosexual appeal. However, Tab Hunter soon faced significant personal and professional challenges as a closeted gay actor in Hollywood. Hunter agreed to be paired with female stars for publicity purposes. These romances were orchestrated by the studio to reinforce his heterosexual image. One notable example was his highly publicized relationship with actress Natalie Wood. There was also a high level of discretion in his personal relationships. Hunter's relationships with men were conducted with extreme caution. Still, rumors of relationships with several men in Hollywood, including actor Anthony Perkins, made it to the mill, and when rumors about his sexuality surfaced, Hunter, like many of his contemporaries, denied them. On the bright side, Hunter's legacy underwent a significant transformation when he publicly came out as gay in his 2005 autobiography, Tab Hunter Confidential: The Making of a Movie Star. So while he couldn't live truly and freely in the beginning, he made sure to speak his truth in his later years.
Involved! We are all involved! Mom, a kid was killed tonight. I don't see how I can get out of that by pretending that it didn't happen. Well, you know that...
Number 6. James Dean. James Dean was an iconic figure in American cinema. His roles in Rebel Without a Cause in 1955, East of Eden, and Giant in 1956 earned him the status of a cultural legend. Despite his short-lived career due to an untimely death at the age of 24, his influence can never be ignored, because no matter how brief, Dean's career left an indelible mark on Hollywood. He was celebrated for his intense method acting style and his ability to portray complex, emotionally charged characters. His rebellious image, combined with his brooding good looks, made him a symbol of youthful angst and nonconformity. But somewhere in all of that, his enigmatic persona fueled extensive speculation and rumors about his sexuality. Rumors about James Dean's sexuality and relationships with men have persisted for decades. Even with the scarceness of concrete evidence, some biographers and contemporaries have suggested that Dean's relationships with men were more than just platonic. It probably didn't help that Dean was known to have close relationships with prominent gay individuals in Hollywood. Notable examples were actor Sal Mineo and playwright Tennessee Williams. These associations played a huge part in fueling speculation about Dean's own sexuality. In response to the rumors, Dean himself made ambiguous statements about his sexuality. He was once quoted as saying, "No, I am not a homosexual, but I am also not going to go through life with one hand tied behind my back." This statement has been interpreted in various ways, suggesting an openness to exploring his sexuality. So while Dean was often seen with women in public, his image as a rebel and nonconformist allowed for a certain level of ambiguity about his personal life.
That's how I'm going to clear the table.
Number 5. Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando is a name present on every list of the most influential actors in the history of cinema. He is renowned for his roles in films like A Streetcar Named Desire, On the Waterfront, and The Godfather. Marlon Brando's career began on the stage before he became a major film star in the 1950s. Known for his intense method of acting and his roles as brooding, complex characters, Brando was a pioneering force in modern acting. His rugged good looks and magnetic screen presence also made him a sex symbol of his time, but it also created room for questions about his sexuality. Early on, there were claims that Brando had relationships with several men. One of the most notable rumors involved a relationship with actor James Dean. Additionally, Quincy Jones, in a 2018 interview, claimed that Brando had a sexual relationship with comedian Richard Pryor. This claim was later confirmed by Pryor's widow, Jennifer Lee. Brando was married 3 times and had numerous relationships with women. He even fathered at least 11 children in his lifetime. But while these relationships helped maintain his heterosexual image, they did not entirely quell speculations about his sexuality. At some point, Brando himself made statements that hinted at his bisexuality. If you've made it this far, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates from us. Number 4. Marilyn Monroe. There is no denying that Marilyn Monroe is one of the most iconic figures in Hollywood history. She still stands out not just as an actress, but as a quintessential sex symbol for heterosexual men everywhere. So, would you believe that she was ever the subject of numerous rumors and speculations about her sexual orientation? Where would these rumors even come from? Marilyn Monroe had very close relationships with women. But in a twist, some biographers and historians have interpreted these to be potentially romantic or sexual. Her relationships with actresses like Joan Crawford, Barbara Stanwyck, Marlene Dietrich, and Elizabeth Taylor have all been scrutinized for signs of intimacy beyond friendship. Various contemporaries and people close to Monroe have also suggested that she had sexual encounters with women. Take her second husband, Joe DiMaggio, who alleged that she had a special relationship with women like her acting coach, Natasha Lattès. Numerous unverified anecdotes circulate about Monroe's sexual encounters with women. These stories are often based on secondhand accounts or gossip that have made it difficult to separate fact from fiction. But then, Monroe was also known to have made ambiguous statements about her sexuality. Though she never explicitly identified as bisexual or gay, in some interviews, she hinted at a fluid approach to relationships. There is one piece of evidence to support Monroe's lesbian encounters with several of these women, particularly Joan Crawford. Toward the end of her life, when Monroe was seeing psychiatrist Dr. Ralph Greenson, she revealed in recorded sessions that she had a sexual encounter with Crawford. In the recording, Monroe allegedly stated that Crawford had a gigantic orgasm during their time together. In fact, Crawford reportedly grew spiteful when Monroe turned down the offer of a second meeting.
How are you going to get on friendly terms with that?
Anything wrong, darling?
No.
Number 3, Rock Hudson. Another prominent Hollywood leading man who takes a spot on this list is Rock Hudson. Even now, he remains one of the most memorable heartthrobs from the 1950s and 1960s Hollywood. But that's not the only standout thing about him. Even if they didn't know it then, Hudson has since become a significant figure in the history of LGBTQ+ representation in the entertainment industry. You see, Rock Hudson's career was built on his image as the quintessential heterosexual leading man. He starred in numerous romantic dramas and comedies, and he was opposite leading ladies like Doris Day and Elizabeth Taylor. However, this carefully crafted public persona was at odds with his private life. Hudson was gay, but he kept his sexuality a secret due to the societal and professional consequences he would have faced if it were known. Rumors also have it that Hudson's studio, Universal Pictures, was aware of his sexuality and took measures to protect his heterosexual image. This included orchestrating a marriage to his agent's secretary, Phyllis Gates, in 1955. This marriage lasted only 3 years and was widely believed to be a facade. Hudson had relationships with men throughout his life. His close friends and some industry insiders were aware of his sexuality, but it remained a closely guarded secret from the public. Hudson was diagnosed with AIDS in 1984, and his illness became public in 1985. Notably, this was a pivotal moment in the history of the AIDS epidemic, as Hudson was one of the first major public figures to be diagnosed with the disease. His diagnosis brought significant attention to the AIDS crisis and helped to reduce some of the stigma associated with the disease and homosexuality.
Yes, I do. I understand. I understand very well.
You haven't been around here in weeks.
Number 2, Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift was a highly respected actor known for his roles in A Place in the Sun, From Here to Eternity, and Judgment at Nuremberg. His performances were characterized by a vulnerability and intensity that set him apart from other actors of his era. In fact, he is often cited as one of Hollywood's earliest method actors. But just as his life and career were marked by critical acclaim, he also had his share of personal struggles, one of which included his sexuality. Taking a closer look, you could find that Clift's sexuality was an open secret among his friends and colleagues. Close friends and contemporaries, like actress Elizabeth Taylor, were aware of his sexuality and supported him. Clift had numerous relationships with men throughout his life, and these relationships had to be conducted with great discretion to protect his career. Clift was known for his reclusive nature and avoided the Hollywood social scene. He lived in New York and rarely discussed his personal life in interviews. It is believed that the struggle to hide this aspect of his life carefully may have caused considerable emotional strain on him. Then came the near-fatal car accident in 1956 that significantly altered his appearance. This must have exacerbated his personal struggles, as subsequent surgeries added to his physical and emotional pain that eventually caused a reliance on drugs and alcohol. One particular reason why Clift earned a posthumous gay icon status was the fact that he did not go the extra mile to prove a point. Unlike many other actors who entered into marriages to maintain a heterosexual image, Clift did not get married.
Busy day.
Morning, Eva. What are you doing up so early?
I couldn't sleep.
That means you're either happy or unhappy, which is it?
Number 1, Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo's career spanned the silent film era and the advent of talkies. In that time, she became known for her beauty, talent, and commanding screen presence. Her roles often involved complex, independent women, which mirrored her off-screen persona. But despite being one of Hollywood's most enigmatic and iconic figures, Greta Garbo has long been the subject of speculation regarding her sexuality. Garbo was famously private, and her recurring phrase, "I want to be alone," added to her reputation for being reclusive. This mystique might have fueled public fascination, but it eventually led to speculation about her personal life. Garbo was rumored to have relationships with several women, including actresses and other prominent figures. Among those frequently mentioned are renowned writer and socialite Mercedes de Acosta and actress Louise Brooks. Letters between Garbo and de Acosta, revealed after Garbo's death, suggested a deep, intimate relationship. Considering de Acosta was openly lesbian, their correspondence indicates a close bond that many would interpret as romantic. Greta Garbo eventually retired from acting and public life entirely by the time she turned 35. Garbo never married and never had any children. This was probably not due to a lack of suitors, but at least two men, Swedish publishers Lars Saxon and American silent film star John Gilbert, are said to have proposed to Garbo at different points. Rumors speak of a letter written on MGM notepaper and addressed to Lars Saxon. At some point, the letter was obtained by the Postal Museum, and Garbo reportedly wrote, "I will probably remain a bachelor all my life. Wife is such an ugly word." So at the end of the day, Garbo was a bisexual who was widely known in the Hollywood community and ultimately in the public's consciousness. But rather than lie to the press then, Garbo chose to remain silent about her personal life. If anything, we believe the stories of these outstanding actors all underscore the profound challenges and personal sacrifices that were required to navigate a career in Hollywood during the highly homophobic golden age of Hollywood. So what do you think? Do share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. You also can't miss the next video on your screen.